My goodness, here we are. Feel free to say hi. Welcome to our new pilot of a new broadcast where we're hoping to promote and connect with people that are organizing events here in Puerto Vallarta, whether it is musicians that are going to do a gig or a new restaurant that is opening or you name it. We're going to try to find a way to connect with all these people. Of course, my name is Paco. You know me from Coffee and Headlines, but despite the fact that for you, the background looks the same right here, we are producing this broadcast with an entirely different system. So do mind me. Don't mind me. I may end up pushing the wrong button here and there. But let me tell you what this broadcast is all about. For starters, we decided to call it, well, I decided to call it the upcoming event Spotlight. And that seems so incredibly long to me that I think moving forward, we're just going to call it the Spotlight. Now, let me tell you how I hope things will go. If you are an event organizer and you want to come onto the studio as my guest and you want to tell us about your event, just type the word event in your public comment and I will give you an invite to come onto the studio. It would help if you have a link or a URL, a website, an address ready to go for people to ask questions, because when we're doing Coffee and Headlines in the morning, I do my homework, I find out all the information. But now that we're doing this in the afternoon, I actually have no idea exactly who's going to show up. So I'm going to be as ignorant of your event as everybody else. So it will be helpful to have that additional bit of information. This is for organizers. Of course, for audiences, it will be extremely helpful if you had a capital letter Q on top of before any general question you may have. And if you have a question for any of the people that comes onto the studio, it will help if you add that person's name so that we know exactly who we are talking to and who the question is directed to. And of course, for everyone, this is a brand new project. So I would be so grateful if you help me spread the word. And if you go to see a show, if you go to a restaurant, if you go to an art gallery that's mentioned here, it helps if you say, if you mention this broadcast, which we're going to call the Spotlight, or if you mention Coffee and Headlines, or if you just say, blame it on Paco, whatever you wish. And now that I've gotten that out of the way, I know that Mr. Mark Hartman is in the house. But before I get started with him, I want to make sure that I don't see any other people at this point wanting to come live. Amy Armstrong is in the house. Amy, I'm hoping that you have your camera ready, because I'm going to invite you to the studio as well. I just sent you an invitation so you can join us. And I don't see any other people that I've asked to come onto the studio. Again, if you have something that you want to announce, an upcoming event, it helps if you type the capital letter word event. I'll be looking for this, and I will be inviting you into the studio. But as long as we're ready to go, I am going to invite a dear friend that needs no introduction, or maybe he does, because I shouldn't take for granted that you are all familiar with him. And he is an amazing piano player and accompanist and Broadway impresario and singer and tap dancer. And I proudly call him Doctor because he always gives me good advice on all things musical. And I am, of course, talking about Mr. Mark Hartman. How are you, Mark? Oh my goodness. I
Sorry, hi.
ah, hello, Mark. How are you?
Oldest mistake in the book. I was looking for a good excuse to break out the digital studio, and so I'm happy it's here.
How are things going?
It's been a busy season, man.
Uh-huh.
It's
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
so with the rather unexpected closing of our dear friends at Encanto. I thought, well, am I going to have a season at all? Am I going to, is anybody going to need a pianist around town? Well, as it turns out, they did. And I've been playing all around town all season for so many great people, regularly with Guda Gabor and Amy Armstrong at Nacho Daddy, suddenly Seymour at the Palm, and Amanda Reckonwith at Act Two. And that's kind of been all season long. But also, there have been a few other little pop-up things. I did a couple of things with Enrique de Allende at the Palm, the legendary Rose Levine at Act Two, a couple of odd pop-ups, including one tomorrow night with, or sorry, Monday night with Alison Lowe at Garbo, and a new little experiment with Cami Desilets also at Act Two. So it's been a busy year
Wow.
already. Oh, and of
That is,
course the new Belters, Seth Sykes and Nicholas King at Nacho Daddy, and one show over in San Miguel.
I really wanted to catch them, but one gets busy. But it's it is so wonderful that you have kept busy and that work has happened for you because you are such a communicator of everything that's going on in Puerto Vallarta and such an ambassador for what's going on here when you're back home in New York. Um, Tell me about some of the new people that you are working with this year.
I mean, I have to say, one of the most fulfilling things that I've done in PV has been working with Amy Armstrong. I've been an admirer of hers for years. And I'm so happy that the opportunity came up for us to work together. We're going back to a lot of, and she'll tell you more, I'm sure. Um, but we've had the opportunity to go back to some of her older material that she used to do on the ships and things she used to do with a brilliant pianist named Freddie Allen, to whom I'm eternally grateful. And it's just been great to explore that material with her again. And it's a
That's
working relationship that I treasure.
that is wonderful. You've been doing this for a while at Nacho Daddy, correct?
We
What
have we've been playing every Saturday night since the beginning of January.
That's wonderful. How has been what has been the crowd response like?
I think it's safe to say overwhelming. We've had to. I know that poor Tammy has had to rent chairs a couple of times to squeeze everyone in that we've been trying to get in, and it's been really remarkable. Just the reception. I think Amy was unsure how people would respond to this material after this amount of time, especially a Puerto Vallarta audience that doesn't necessarily know her for doing this sort of material, and it's been truly magical to see the responses.
Can you give me an example of a piece of music that you may have never known that you were going to collaborate with, uh, that you were going to include in your repertoire, and you were like unexpectedly surprised?
Absolutely. Amy found this wonderful young singer songwriter named Benedict Cork, who is a skinny, long-haired piano player and songwriter, and he's fantastic. And she wanted to do one of his numbers, and I had zero familiarity with this artist, absolutely zero. Um, and this one song is just amazing. The song itself is lovely, and Amy's take on it is very specific and really wonderful. And we had a great time putting it together, and it's introduced me to to a writer that I had and performer that I had no familiarity with at all, and and now I am.
Well, let's go back to basics. Let's assume that, because I mean, I should never take for granted that everybody out there knows Amy and everybody out there knows you. If you ran into me at a party and you told me that you were playing with Amy Armstrong, and I told you, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with you, I'm not familiar with her, start me from scratch.
All right. Amy sort of cut her teeth in the piano bars and performance spaces in Chicago, and began a fulfilling sort of touring career, playing larger and larger venues in Chicago and around the area, and then did a ton of work as a headliner on cruise ships for quite some time, including appearances in far-flung reaches, including Puerto Vallarta, and
Mm-hmm.
now has made this her home. And she has been selling out for ages here in PV, and PV could not be luckier to have such a generous, funny powerhouse of a singer in town.
I know. I know. And what can you tell me about yourself? I mean, I would gladly talk about yourself, but we just met, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. I just want to make sure that whoever is watching that is not at all familiar with you guys can get the pleasure of knowing just who you are and how much they're going to enjoy your performance. Tell me a
Absolutely.
little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I grew up on a couple of farms in North Carolina. My father's a Baptist minister, and from and they had no idea what to do with this. No idea at all. I went to UNC Chapel Hill and had a really lovely performing and music direction career going there in my early 20s. And I got an offer I couldn't refuse to move to New York, and I did. I played a couple of Broadway shows as a sub, and had a bunch of piano bar shifts, and started to work in the cabaret community in New York. I had two um, very fulfilling Broadway shows of my own that I was actually, you know, part of the, in the show, in the orchestra. And I've produced a couple of musicals, did a bunch of off-Broadway music direction, a bunch of albums, cast albums for those. And I've enjoyed a fantastic career with a bunch of singers, sort of playing for them in concert appearances around the US and around the world. And that has been sort of what I've been doing, sort of touring with singers that I love for the last 8 or 10 years.
This is absolutely fantastic. Tell me, Broadway, jazz standards, where do you find yourself more at home?
Mm. It's so hard to say because musical theater has been such a part of my life in really from high school, and that repertoire is in my bones, and it always will have a special place for me. But when I started working in the piano bars, I learned a great deal of material that was sort of musical theater adjacent. You know, Cole Porter and Noel Coward and those sorts of Rogers and Hart and those sort of things that had moved from the Broadway stage into the Great American Songbook. And as you start exploring those people, you sort of find music that is Great American Songbook adjacent as well. And it's those people, it's those writers that I really love. Leonard Cohen, Tom Waits, Joni Mitchell, Carole King. Um, because when you write, and tell me when I'm rambling too long, when you write for musical theater, you're writing for a very specific moment at a very specific point in a character's existence. That's sort of what that song does. And if you're very lucky, that can translate into a larger life for the song than just that moment in the show. Songwriters like Bob Dylan and Jacques Brel and Leonard Cohen and Tom Waits are writing sort of about the greater existence, sort of the greater human condition in so many ways. And there are so many takes on inside all of those. I work with a wonderful singer named Barb Younger who's out of London, who her takes on Brel and Bob Dylan are like nothing you've ever heard.
Wow.
And that's the flexibility that a singer-songwriter, again, like Benedict Cork, to bring it back to him, are able to do. They're able to write a moment in a life that's not so specific that you can't sort of zoom out and find yourself in it, and often lose yourself in it.
Well, this is all absolutely wonderful and fascinating. I'm one of the converted, but let me ask you the question, and this is for me the meat and potatoes. In Puerto Vallarta, where nowadays there are so many things to do, so many places to be, why should people go and buy a ticket for Amy Armstrong and Mark Hartman? What will be the biggest surprise? And I know that you have a show tonight at 7. I'm looking at Amy's comment. And before I let you answer that question, Julie, I see you. You're going to go next. We're going to wrap this up in a second. But Mark, tell me why it matters.
Well, we only have 2 left. So, it's a going fast. Also, if you've seen Amy, it's a side of Amy that you haven't seen in quite some time, and I couldn't be more excited to be bringing it with her. If you are not familiar with Amy Armstrong, she is the queen of Puerto Vallarta vocalists, and you are missing out. And these shows are not, it's not like we're releasing a live album. You come see us, or you've missed it. Until next season.
That is wonderful. I'm going to let you go because you probably want to prep for your show tonight, but let me ask you a load. Oh, you're going to literally prep for your show tonight. Let me ask you a loaded question. Any chance like we can perk this up with a comp ticket or 2 for one of the 2 shows that you have left?
Ooh.
Yeah.
The delightful Amy Armstrong will have to answer that question. She is the holder of the purse strings.
Okay, well, and in that case, as long as Amy is still here, Amy, if you are able to or have the power and whatever it takes to give us a couple of tickets to give away for one of your 2 last shows, we're going to have a giveaway at the end of tonight. But just for everybody else to know, Mark, you guys have your penultimate show tonight at 7. Today is Saturday 9th. And when will your final show with Amy Armstrong be?
I believe it is next Saturday. I have to, Karen. Yes, Karen, I love the Guthrie, and I will be going back in 2025. Little tidbit for you right there. Anyway, yeah. I'm sorry. You were. I believe next Saturday is the last one. Is that right, Amy, or do we have 2 more? I'm going to look at my calendar right now. Yes, we have the 16th. Yes. Tonight is the penultimate show, and next Saturday, the 16th at 7 p.m. is our last one. If you want to know everything I'm doing, wait. Did it not do it? Did it not do the thing it's supposed to do? Copy.
While you're doing that, I'm looking at general comments here. There are some comments featuring love. Yes, Karen just said that you are loved at the Guthrie Theater in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as I am sure he is in PV. Says Karen Miller. I love it. And I see that Mark has posted a link for everyone to find out exactly where you can find out everything about what Mark is doing. Mark, you have been a pleasure. Please know that if this project flies, I will be so very happy to have you come back, because I know that you are performing with other people. I don't want Cami or anybody else that you're working with to feel like, well, wait a second, he didn't talk about me. So how about next time we do this, which I think, I'm still not sure. I think we're going to switch to Tuesday or Wednesday afternoons.
Sure.
If you're available and come back and want to come back to tell us about all the other things that you're doing, it would be my pleasure to have you.
I would love to. And if you go to that URL, you can find absolutely everything I'm doing in PV until my time here is done.
Excellent. Excellent.
And
Well, Mark, thank you very much. Break a leg. And
great to talk to you.
Likewise. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was our very first guest ever in our very first broadcast for this new project. I'm loving it, and I see that Julie Guerrero is here. So let us see what Julie Guerrero is up to. Hello, girl. Can you see me and hear me?
I can see you and hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Are you gonna be incognito today?
I am going to be incognito today. I didn't know there was a camera ready expectation, and we do not want to scare the children. So,
no worries,
we're going to keep the emphasis on the information. First, I think this is an amazing way to share information. I was so excited when I got your email, and I should, again, learn how to read a little more closely, because I tried to reply to the email. And I said, oh, this is a great idea. I'll see you Saturday. But of course, you weren't going to get it from a reply to the email. I should have gone to that link you put on there for contact. So I learned that lesson right away.
Well, we're never too old to be learning lessons. Trust me, I am still learning quite a few. I'm 62, and I'm going to continue learning as long as I can. Do tell me, though, what brings you here? What kind of announcement do you wish to share with us?
Well, first, let me ask you, is there a way that I can either show a flyer or point people to a link? There's an event that I created on Facebook for this information I wanted to share this morning. It's called the Spring Breath Workshop and Lunch at the Botanical Garden. And if anyone on the call right now is familiar with a woman out of Ottawa whose name is Candace Burns, and she has a mindfulness practice in Ottawa that is very familiar in the area. There's a lot of people that know her work, and she's doing for the first time in Mexico her breath workshop here at the Botanical Garden. It is a combination of energies that anyone who loves the garden and anyone who either has a meditation practice or wants to start one and learn about how breath really plays into your whole understanding of presence and consciousness, then Candace Burns is your gal. She's the one that's going to be able to present the modalities that she has learned and developed through her studies. And she's going to be doing it in one of the most beautiful places in Mexico at the Botanical Garden.
This is wonderful. Let me answer your question, first of all, because this is something that I anticipate uh, I anticipated would come on, and that is people wanting to show and tell things. What I am hoping, Julie, is that in the future, people that want to take the advantage of showing things, like, let's say, for example, Paul Christ wanted to show us gorgeous photographs of his specials of the week. He can
Yes,
send me those photos ahead of time. I can set them up on a stage so that we can show them while we're having a conversation. This being the very
perfect.
first time that we do this, we are just testing the waters and seeing how this is going to go. But absolutely, you're totally correct. It would be wonderful to be able to do that, and I anticipate we'll be able to do that in the future. Let me ask you a question. For those people that don't know, who is Julie Guerrero?
Julie Guerrero is just a retired senior living on a pension in beautiful Puerto Vallarta. And that's a line for those of you who know the Godfather trilogy. That's the line that Hyman Roth said at the airport when he was getting off of the plane. And he's this huge gangster, right, that everybody's looking for. And they asked him something like that, like, "Who is Hyman Roth?" And he said, "Just a retired citizen, just trying to live my life quietly." I've been in Puerto Vallarta now for about 18 years and have had the true delightful pleasure of having businesses here. I had a restaurant here. I had a real estate office here. I have individual little consulting contracts that I do, but I really am retired technically and am trying to focus on just doing all the things that people come and visit Vallarta to do, and take advantage of the destination. And really, Paco, more importantly, is reconnect with those friends and people and places that I really want to have in my life. Now I've got the luxury of being able to be very judicious with my time.
This is wonderful to hear, Julie. I see a question for you that has popped up. Pat Rees is asking, when is this event at the Botanical Garden and how much is it going to cost?
Hi, Pat. Thanks for the question. There are going to be two dates on which the same workshop is offered. It's a 5-hour workshop from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The first time it's offered is Friday, March 22nd. And then the second day is Sunday, March 24th. And you can get all the details on registration fee and how to sign up through the Facebook event. That you can find. It's open to the public on Facebook. Just look for Spring Breathwork Workshop.
Let's do that right now, as long as we can. Spring Breath Work Workshop. I want to see if I can find it so that I can post a URL. No, that's not it. Do you happen to have the URL handy, Julie, by
I
any
do.
chance?
How do I get it to you though? Oh, I
Ba-da-ba-ba-bam.
can put it in the chat.
And that's precise. That would be fantabulous. If you can put
Okay.
it in the general chat, that way people will know where to find more information.
So I leave the
Um,
studio to do that because right now I've only got the chat with everyone in the studio.
let me see. Hold on just a second.
So I put it in there. Maybe can you pull it off of there?
I found it. Spring breathwork and breathwork workshop and lunch at the Vallarta Botanical
That's
Garden.
the one.
And that's the one. Let me very quickly put that on the chat so that people can connect with you. And what I see is this is happening on Friday, March 22nd. Is you said there's a couple of sessions, right?
Right. It's the same session, both offered either on Friday or on
Uh-huh.
Sunday, the 22nd or the 24th of March.
Excellent. Are you, and don't feel obligated, are you at all able to share a perk or a discount or something that we can give away? And if you say no, it's
Oh, I would
perfectly fine.
absolutely love to do that. We can put something together for your group, for your cluster. Absolutely. And
No,
you can
This is not so much for the cluster. I'm sorry to interrupt. This is for the people that are watching now. We're going to do
Oh, for the people
giveaways
who are
at the
watching
end.
now, yes, even better. Sure. Yes, we can put something together. I can give them a 10% discount off the listed registration.
Percent discount off the listed registration for one person?
For two.
For two people. Okay, for everybody else, stay put. Don't go away because we are going to be giving out this in a giveaway at the end of this broadcast. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about my upcoming event in a second. And and is there anything else, Julie, that you wish to share with us?
If you follow the Facebook event over the next few weeks prior, up to the date of the event, you'll be able to meet Candace through a series of videos, that little video clips that she's putting together to highlight the content of the workshop, get to know a little bit more about her and what she's done and what she is doing in Ottawa. And if people are interested, and maybe you can't attend the workshop on those 2 days, she will be available in Puerto Vallarta for a couple of days for individual sessions. And you'll get all that information once you respond to the email address and the registration info. And we'll tell you all about how you're going to learn this new way of connecting to yourself that will deepen or even start a meditation practice for you.
I love it, Julie. Well, thank you so much for sharing this information with us. Thank you so much for offering a giveaway for whoever can take it. We're going to do a draw in a second. Julie, as always, it is a pleasure to connect with you. Thank you for joining me, and thank you in advance for helping me spread the word. If you know of any restaurant, artist, store that is going to open, anybody that is planning a special event, and we want to connect. We want to learn more about the people that are organizing these events and that are making our lives more connected. Thank you so much, Julie.
You're welcome, Paco. Y cuenta conmigo. I think this is a wonderful idea.
Thank you very much. Okay, so that was Julie. Let me scroll through the comments very quickly just to see if anybody else wants to tell us about their event. I don't see other takers, but I'm not discouraged. This is a new project. What I would like to do now is tell you a little bit about my next upcoming event. As you know, when I'm not doing coffee and headlines, I am doing my music appreciation presentations. My next presentation is going to be on Thursday, March 21st at the Joint Co-working Hotel. This is going to be at 5 o'clock. And it has to, well, it's called Dueling Versions, and it has to do with composers that, for whatever reason, happen to create a piece of music for a single instrument, and then they went out and created an orchestral version of that piece. Why this happened, which one we like better, so forth and so on. And it's going to be a lot of fun, or at least I'd like to think that it's going to be a lot of fun. And what I would like to do is start our giveaway adventure with that offer. And the way the giveaway is going to work is as follows. Again, my event is on Thursday, March 21st. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. So if you are in town and you would like to attend, please feel free to write the word joint, as in, after this broadcast is over, I'm going to smoke a big fatty joint. Write the word joint if you wish to participate. And I'm going to wait for some comments to see if they show up. If they show up, Paul, I see you. I've sent you a couple of invitations to come online. And oh, Amy, oh my goodness. And Amy is here. My God, my God, my God, my God, my God.
I feel like an old
Hey,
lady. I feel like an old lady. I was like, I don't know how to do this. Oh my God. Mark got me on here. That's how you know, like the old lady. I'm like, Mark, help me.
how
Hi,
are
honey.
you?
Hi, I'm good. I've been listening to all the compliments and I was just touching my boob and like thinking warm thoughts. So
So this is so wonderful. Um, my God. So we've heard Mark's take on your collaboration. What can you tell me about working with Dr. Hartman?
he was like an angel sent to me this season. It was incredible. I mean, like, I have to tell you this. The first rehearsal, he's like, "Oh, I have all the charts. If you want to go lower or higher, just let me know." And I was like, "Oh my God, you're incredible!" Like I almost started crying. I mean, that's how unbelievable he is. And on top of that, his musicianship, his demeanor on stage, how he acts, how his life is just his heart and soul is music, and that's what I love about him so much. And he's very versatile in everything he does, and everything I throw at him, he's like, "Okay." I told him I was weird. He said, "Okay." I still think he thinks it's okay. I hope.
Oh, Mark, your microphone is no longer on. Did you change something? Oh, did I mute you? Why are you showing up muted here?
Sometimes that's better.
Oh, there. Often.
No.
Many people seem to
No.
think so.
I have so much fun with him, and he's there for me at every. Like, he's funny because he'll even say, "Man, Freddie put up with your shit a lot," because I'll be talking, he thinks I'm ready to go, and I'm like, "Nope, I'm gonna do another loop and start talking more," and he's just like, "Okay," but he gets me on all the levels. We're the same age. We've been through a lot of the similar things musically, and I've had the best season because of Mr. Hartman.
Can either one of you share like a really amazing anecdote that gave you the realization that, oh my God, this is a good musical connection?
You want to go first, or should I?
Um, you know, I think it was just kind of the first number we played together, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
As
it
soon
was
as it started playing, I was like, "Oh my God!" It felt like home. It felt like something like a wonderful memory that just came back to life again. In fact, in our couple rehearsals in the beginning before we had to perform, I got a little emotional because it just brought back all these wonderful memories. And I also was nervous because people hadn't heard. Some people don't realize I did show tunes and standards for 20 years. They're just kind of like, "Oh, we didn't ever know you did that." I'm like, "Yeah, for 20 years." I mean, I switched it up and reinvented myself while I was here, but I didn't really go back to that because I use a lot of strings. I use like guitar and violin and cello and all that kind of stuff. And but coming back to piano was like this comfortable, wonderful jacket that you have. That's your favorite jacket, and you lost it somewhere, and someone's like, "Well, here's that jacket back." You're like, "Oh my God." It's so great. And he lets me be who I am. I told him how I was. There was never a question about it. And let me tell you, Paco, his musicianship is just the best I could ever hope for. I was blessed to have him this season.
I am going to confess that secretly, having known the both of you for at least years, I have been secretly hoping that at some point your schedules and your energy would connect. And I am so happy that it did. Amy, we're going to have a giveaway. What are the odds that you have a ticket to spare or two? And
How about two?
if you don't, no pressure.
No, how about two?
Two tickets for any
Yeah,
one of the two performances that are left.
any of them.
Awesome. I've written this down from Amy Armstrong. For anybody that is here, if you want to win two tickets for any one of these two shows, just write the word Armstrong by itself, and then we'll get to the giveaways in a second. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Mark. I'm going to let you go because we have Paul Christ waiting on the wings, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what he's up to. Break a leg tonight.
Thank you. You guys remember Wednesdays and Saturdays, 7 p.m. until March 20th. I love you guys.
Love you too.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Mark,
Paco.
again. Bye bye.
thanks.
Okay, and waiting on the wings, it is my dear friend Paul. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Paco.
How are you?
I'm great.
I know
I'm
that
at
you
this
are.
beautiful house in Miss Maloya.
And what are
Uh,
you doing in a beautiful house in Miss Maloya, darling?
Friends, it's a little get together, afternoon get together,
Uh huh.
and so taking a few minutes away from the party to chat with you and all the listeners.
This is wonderful. Well, tell me what's going on in your world. What kind of wonderful announcement do you have?
Well, I have a couple of things. First is that, well, I'll start with the thing that we're doing at Bistro Mercurio, which is the bar and restaurant poolside at Hotel Mercurio. On Thursdays, at least through May, we are doing live music to showcase the work of local artists, local musicians, vocalists. And by the way, it was great to see Amy and Mark, who haven't been to see to perform with us yet, but perhaps if they find some time on a Thursday, we can work that out. So Thursdays from 4 to 8 p.m. every Thursday, poolside at Hotel Mercurio's Bistro Mercurio. We have live music. It's a great space. This time of year, the weather is great. It's nice to just sit by the pool, enjoy a little late lunch, early dinner, a glass of wine, a margarita. So we're doing that, and so it's been great, and for me, it's really important to support the local arts scene, particularly performing arts. I've been a big fan of the local talent here, which we have in abundance. Doing this has been just a wonderful experience, and we'll be doing that through the end of May.
Well,
And
I
then,
also, oh, I'm sorry, continue.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Well, I go ahead then. I also happen to know that every week at your wonderful Bistro Mercurio, you have specials. And I also happen to know, because I follow your Facebook page, that you have special dishes on a weekly basis. And your photographer takes gorgeous photographs of them. In future editions of this new broadcast, Paul, I want you to feel more than welcome to join us and share photographs of whatever it is that you're serving, because your food is exemplary. I've said it at Coffee and Headlines. There's no better shrimp pizza than the one you serve.
Thank you so much. And I will definitely do that. It's a different special each week. It's something that is not on the menu. I'm a huge foodie. I like, food is for me. I think food is social. It is something we all need, and it's something we love to share. And so for me, like, sharing my love of food through the restaurant at Bistro Mercurio is one of the joys of what I do. One of the great joys of what I do.
This is wonderful. Paul, can I talk you into a freebie, a perk, a giveaway?
Absolutely. How about dinner for two, including 2 drinks of your choice, at Bistro Mercurio anytime? I don't know. Let's make it through the end of April. I think maybe that would give people enough time to come by and experience it. And it can be on a Thursday when we have live music.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Paul, I don't want to keep you any further because I know that you are at a party. Oh, yes.
No, I do want to mention one other thing.
Please.
And that is that I don't know if many of or all of your listeners know who is Rodriguez, the pianist. My mind just went blank.
Welcome to my world.
I'm like Joe Biden. Like I'm
not like, well, let's not go there.
The pianist.
Salvatore?
Salvatore, thank you. Duh, he's been my friend for like 20 years. Anyway, he recently had a heart attack.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And was in the hospital for multiple days, and had surgery. He's doing fine, but like almost all the artists in Puerto Vallarta, has no insurance. The artists are independent. So they're not employed, so they're not covered by IMSS, the Mexican Social Security system. So he's facing some pretty large medical bills with the hospital. And on this Tuesday, March 12th, we are doing a fundraiser with Alberto Cuevas, El Diamante, and a group of about 6 other local artists to raise funds to help Salvatore retire his medical debts. So that'll be at 4 p.m. Tuesday, March 12th at Hotel Mercurio.
Excellent.
And no cover to enter. I will be giving the all of the income from the bar from 4 to 8 p.m. Plus, all of the artists are coming at no charge, and whatever tips they can collect, we'll be sending that to Salvatore for his medical expenses.
This is wonderful. I certainly hope that your web guy will put together a Facebook event so that we can share it with the audience, so that more and more people can check it out.
Yeah, just this morning, Alberto Cuevas, El Diamante, sent me his Spanish version. He did a graphic, and I asked him if he could do that in English, but I'm sort of gonna take it from there, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have some information on Facebook and an event set up and all that.
Please keep me posted on that. Julie is asking for one more time, date and time, please.
Of this event for Salvatore?
Correct.
That is going to be this Tuesday, March 12th at 4 p.m.
Excellent. Well, Paul, enjoy your party. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to do my giveaway. Thank you very much for offering that as well.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yay. Okay, guys. So we have boom, 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 boom. I have to hold on just a second. How do I do this? Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. You can tell the world, I don't care. This day will be remembered as a day in which I had to go wee-wee in the middle of a live broadcast. It happens to the best of us. But for those of you that are still here, okay, let's summarize our giveaways before this happens again. We have 4 giveaways, and I'm going to tell you the hashtags that you should write. I am giving away 2 tickets for my next presentation. The keyword is joint. Julie Guerrero is giving a 10% discount off the listed registration for 2 people. The keyword is Julie. Amy Armstrong is giving away 2 tickets for any one of her performances. The keyword is Armstrong. And Paul is offering dinner for 2, including 2 drinks of your choice anytime through the end of April. The keyword is Mercurio. So take a look at all those words, write them in separate comments. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on our giveaway tool. Da, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da, da. Ba-da-ba-bam. Hold on just a second. No, that's not where I want to do this. Where I want to do this is sharing screen, and I want to share the giveaway tool. No, that didn't work. Hold on. There it is. There is our giveaway tool. I am just waiting for you to do all your comments and do all the wonderful things that you have to do. Let me get rid of this comment. And once again, I want to thank you for joining this very first spotlight. I am grateful for the fact that we were joined by Amy Armstrong. We were able to learn a little bit more about her, and we were able to learn more about Mark Hartman, and of course, this wonderful event that Julie Guerrero is planning. And of course, Hotel Mercurio is a great place to stay. But even if you're not a guest, it is a great place to enjoy a wonderful dinner. So are you guys ready for the giveaways? Let me start with my own. And what we're going to do is I'm going to write my keyword, and my keyword was joint. And there, that's going to be easy because there's 3 entries. So I'm going to hit the draw button. And the winner is, Julie Guerrero. Congratulations, Julie. You are the proud winner of 2 free tickets to my next music appreciation presentation. Because this has to do with me, I will connect with you and I'll make sure that they know what's going on at the front desk. And since Julie won, let us now do, no, not a draw again. What I need to do is hit back. Hold on. Nope. There you go. Let's do this one more time. And this is going to be the draw for 10% discount off the listed registration for 2 people. You typed Julie as the keyword. Oh, there's only 1 entry. So whoever entered that word is going to be the winner. Let me see who typed Julie. I cannot search for these comments, but identify yourself. Who typed Julie? I don't see who typed Julie, but I'll go through the comments. I will identify who you are. And I'll make sure that Julie and you connect with one another. Now, let us go back and take a look at the third one, which is 2 tickets for Amy Armstrong. And the keyword was Armstrong. And, there's a bunch of people that want to go see this. And this makes me very happy. Let's do the draw. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. And the winners are Chris and Diana Peterson. Congratulations. Please connect with Amy directly. I will announce on my Facebook page that you are the proud winners. This is absolutely wonderful. And then we have our last draw of today, which is Paul's dinner for 2. Let me set this up. There we go. And this keyword was Mercurio. And we have 8 people that asked for this. And let's see who gets this particular one. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. And oh my God, Chris and Diana Peterson got lucky again. I didn't affect the results, but that's the way it turned out. I love it. And this, my friends, is it. Pretty much, this is what we set to accomplish, and it's worked beautifully. We had the opportunity to connect with a few event producers, and hopefully in the future, we will have the opportunity to connect with others as well. Now, if needless to say, this is going to be uploaded to YouTube so that you can watch it later on, or so that other people can watch it. We're going to do this on a weekly basis. I think that once the word spreads out, more people will want to participate, or this is what I hope. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Not sure if it's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday, but it's going to be one of those 2 days. If anybody has a question on how this works, if you would like to be included or considered or whatever, this is the way to reach me. The easiest way is to go to paco-ojeda.com/contact. And that way I can find out if you have any specific questions. And last but not least, a reminder, this is completely free for everyone and anyone. But if you connected, if you enjoyed yourself, if you want something, or you simply want to be kind, I have a tip jar. So for those of you that know Coffee and Headlines, you know what it is and how it works. You can buy me a coffee, or you can become a monthly or annual member at www.buymeacoffee.com/Ojeda Paco. And this would be very much appreciated. With that said, this is the end of our very first broadcast. I thank you so much for stopping by, and hopefully we will do this again, either Tuesday or Wednesday. We're going to figure it out during the weekend, but this is what it was. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again soon.